iPeople is pleased to present 40 Days 40 Fintechs, an initiative under its Include Everyone program, as it continues to lead the way in advocacy for the creation and dissemination of technology that enables financial inclusivity. The 40 Days 40 Fintechs is shining a spotlight on those that are breaking down digital barriers and bringing millions more on the continent into the transactional space and transforming their lives for the better.
Airtel Mobile Commerce Uganda Limited is a fintech company stroke mobile money, and I will differentiate. I will explain what exactly I mean by mobile money and fintech. We do two parts of the business. One is allowing deposits and withdrawals, and on the fintechs we facilitate payment, collections and disbursement for multiple companies in the Uganda jurisdiction. The last 1 year has been one of the years that actually we say we thank God for, because you see the license came during the COVID period, and we can actually not forget to thank our key stakeholders. For once, we have been looking at what is happening in what we call informal merchants. These are companies or businesses that are millions, over 1 million in Uganda today maybe, plus some of them in transport, like motorbikes or the bondas, the way we call them. Some of them like people selling charcoal, women selling tomatoes, young boys and girls running the salons, and many other businesses, you can name them. These are the businesses that we felt like there is a huge gap. No financial services provider was actually looking at them, and there is no one who had focused on them to provide a solution. So we looked at also their challenges, and one of the major challenges in these businesses is they do not have the documentation to qualify for a company. Some of them are just business registered, and the regulation for a formal merchant requires us to go through the proper documentation of a company. We need the company registration, we need the KYC from the directors. Some of these businesses do not have that ability. So we looked at it and we said, how do we develop a solution that will suit them? Some of them had already come to us to say, you know, I've lost money because I accepted P2P, or I accepted somebody to pay me directly to my personal phone, and then they went and they even blocked the line. So sometimes I've also been targeted immediately. I received the payment by fraudsters where I started receiving calls. We listened to all these complaints and we said we need to solve this problem. How do we solve this problem? We said, let's enable a separation between personal transactions from the business transactions, so that this person can now be able to accept payment on the same line, they are on the same phone they are using for their personal calls. However, the value or the money moves into different accounts. With this account, which you can get without having to do any documentation, you don't have to visit any of our call center. You can actually do it in the comfort of your business or even in the comfort of your home by dialing *185 *10 *10. You are able to enter the business name, enter your Airtel Money PIN. By doing that, you get a merchant till. This merchant till now can be made public to the customers who walk into you, and all our 8 million plus customers now are open to you. They can come to your store and they are able to make a payment. The most interesting thing is when they are making a payment, now your number is no longer required. They can actually enter the till number, which is a 7-digit number, and with that the money comes to your business wallet. What have we done to make it easier for them? Any money that you receive in the business wallet, you can transfer it to your personal line at no cost. You can actually pay another business person. If, for example, you are a trader and you receive materials from the product from another trader, you are able to pay that trader at no additional cost. Should you need to take out that money from the wallet also, you have many options. You can transfer it to the bank if you have a bank account, or if you are paying somebody who has a bank account. You can also withdraw it from an Airtel agent, from our over 140,000 agents that are there in the market in the country today. This withdrawal will normally attract the normal withdrawal charges should you want to withdraw. But our objective in this country is to digitize payment. Therefore, rather than encouraging these small traders to withdraw money, we are asking them, why do you want to withdraw money? Because all your suppliers have the same account. You can actually pay the suppliers at no cost. You can also use this money to pay your utility bills and buy airtime and many other things that you do on day-to-day in order to sustain the business. So this product for me is one of the products that I feel we as Airtel Money, we have taken a bold step, because not many operators, not many service providers of our nature who have actually taken that step to digitize the informal or small traders in the mobile money, mobile financial services space. I will talk about a second innovation that we have done this year. And maybe this is a story we have not had an opportunity to talk about. We have actually made our system, we have created what we call open APIs that enable any fintech in this country today to integrate to Airtel Money within 2 working days. And it has been demonstrated today. In a month, we are able to do more than 50 integrations of this nature. What have we done? We have allowed fintechs to build the customer journeys on their side. And once they have built the customer journeys, with having built the customer journeys on their side, for example, if you are Jumia, for example, I'll give you an example. Jumia can build all the journeys, create the marketplace, and you can be able to go select the items. Then you check out through Airtel Money. When you are checking out the Airtel Money, the only thing that you get is a PIN. And the reason why we have kept our business like this, you are supposed to enter the PIN every time to address the transaction, because people are becoming smarter and smarter. So we have strictly said that you will not be able to transact if you don't have a PIN. So you initiate the transaction on the merchant portal, either the USSD or the app or the web, and then you complete the transaction by entering the PIN. This API is open today to anybody who want to do innovation, who want to bring the ecosystem that you have developed and connect it to our customers. The whole idea is we want to expose our entire customer base to the ecosystems that are already there for corrections and payment. And this is something that we need to actually continue to innovate in order to make the system and our platform more open for fintechs and any other provider. I'm grateful to our partners, because this is a product that you cannot offer without partnership with the banks, and sometimes you bring the fintech. And I'll take you through the product that we have today, which have been enabled through partnerships. The first product is what we are offering today with the Jumo. Today, over 2.5 million customers have been waitlisted to take a loan, starting from any amount between 3,000 and 1 million, depending on your activity. And actually my ask is, I want to ask most of my customers to continue to use Airtel more regularly, Airtel Money more regularly, because the more they use the Airtel Money, the more they qualify for higher loans. These loans are very customized for the customer and small traders, in that we have a 14-day loan and a 30-day loan. The interest is very reasonable compared to what you can see in the product. The market itself is the interest on the loans are quite competitive, and you can compare it with a number of loans. Of interest for me is over 400,000 customers have already taken the loan in the last 1 month, and 8 billion. We are already lending more than 8 billion in a span of 1 month. And the repayment behavior we are seeing is quite also encouraging. It tells me that this is a product we can scale, because when people take the loan, majority of them pay before the due date. And a few of them that pass the due date within a shorter period after the due date, they are able to repay. This product is something that is a product that we think we can scale it. We continue to engage and do the data mining. The way idea of data mining is to look at every month, we are looking at how do we bring more people into this product. Because as we do the data mining, we look at qualifying. How do we do the data mining in our case? We have GSM data, looking at your top-up behavior, how have you been behaving in the Airtel network, and how you have been behaving in the mobile money in terms of what transactions you do. Sometimes we have to incorporate the gender, so that we incorporate and ensure that everybody who qualifies for a loan is given enough that they can afford. One thing that also we are very careful with our data science and data mining is ensuring that we don't advance people more than they can repay. Because majority of the people, if you advance them what they cannot repay, this is what causes people to churn. People then drop their service and go to the other product, because you have given them beyond what they can pay. This is one of the products that we are scaling this year, and we believe by the end of this year, maybe around 10 million of our customers will be having access to the product. The other loan product that I want to talk about, and we are very passionate about it, is what we call checkout loan. Checkout loan is actually a loan that we partnered with the Housing Finance Bank and Airbex. Airbex is the fintech, and Airbex has done a lot of innovation in the country. This product is we only need to do one step, which you call opt-in. You opt into the service, and we allow you also to opt out. When you opt into the service, anytime you are doing a transaction and you are short of a few Uganda shillings, it could be even, maybe you have everything, but what you don't have is a fee or the top up of the fee so that you can be able to complete the transaction. The system is able to prompt you that you have insufficient funds, but rather than decline the transaction, which it was doing previously, it gives you an option for you to borrow. This is where we have gotten testimonies. A person went to a supermarket, maybe ran out of money, or he has picked the trolley and is short by 10,000. Rather than identify which item we want to drop from the trolley, he's able actually to complete the transaction. A person is stuck at night. He's not able to get the item and he wants to make that important call. He can actually go to the data bundle or go to our Airtel menu or Airtel Money and actually be able to top up their line, their airtime, without having to have the funds in the wallet. So all this, we are seeing a very good uptick, and the whole idea is how to extend this to the entire base. Currently, over 1 million, again, customers are waitlisted. We are already mining the data again for another 1 million, and by the end of the year, again, we will have around 5 to 10 million customers waitlisted. So we believe these two innovations are very important for us in terms of making credit accessible to people who were before financially excluded. We have not left the agent actually out of this equation. Agent today, when they run out of float, through partnership with KCB Bank, they are able to borrow float, and then when they deposit the money, they repay at their convenience. This again, we have over 91,000 agents today who qualify to be able to take an advance. You can imagine on a weekend when the banks are closed and you have to buy float. You run out of float as an agent. What else can you do? At that point is the time you need to take a loan from Airtel Money through a KCB partnership, and this loan then you repay when you on the next working day when the banks are open. Again, we have continued to innovate. We believe the next big thing is what we are calling phase 2 of our micro merchant solution, whereby this merchant that we are onboarding, tomorrow they should be able to check out when they get stuck in the morning and they don't have enough money in their business wallet which they have created. They should actually be able to check out by just paying the supplier, and in the evening when the money comes in, as they collect the money from their customers, they settle the loan. So the loan portfolio is an area that we are going to continue to grow. Apart from loans, we believe that you cannot promote the borrowing or the credit behavior. We needed also to build a behavior, or to create a behavior for people to save, because we believe savings is very important to drive the economy. And our discussions and our engagement with our partners is how do we use savings also to drive credit. However, different school of thoughts give you different versions. There are some that say use the credit to drive the savings, or some say start with the savings and drive the credit. These two options are there. So we have a product that we call Super Saver, whereby by just dialing star 185 star 7, selecting 11, option number 11, you can actually open an account without visiting the bank, which we call Super Saver. So you just dial the short code, you accept the terms and conditions, the account is opened instantly. This account is an account you can use to deposit or withdraw money conveniently. Deposit into that account, withdrawing money from that account is free of charge. When you keep money in that account, it earns an interest. And if you look at the interest in commercial banks, it ranges between 1.5% to around 3%. And this product that we have created, which has no monthly ledger fee or anything, it gives you a 5% interest if you keep the money there. You can keep money there for 1 day or 2 days. As long as the money was there for a day, it will earn interest. what I encourage most of my customers, and especially customers who have balances, that money that they're not spending that time, rather than keep it in your normal wallet, you can push it to this super save account. When it's in the super save account, it can earn interest, and there are no charges. And when you need to buy some items, or you need to send money to someone, you can pull just enough for the service, so that most of your money remains in the super save account, where it is already earning interest for you. In addition to this, the moment you move money to the super saver account, I don't know whether a number of you understand what we call deposit protection fund. Deposit protection fund is that assured amount should the bank go under, that is already protected through central bank and the insurance that the banks take. If the money is in the super saver account, it's actually protected by the deposit protection fund. So my encouragement and my ask is to my customers, my dear customers, when you have money, please don't keep it in your wallet if you're not using it. Push it into the super save account, and in that super save account, you are more protected, and at the end of the day, you earn interest. Airtel Money, especially, let me say Airtel Money, Airtel Mobile Commerce Uganda Limited specifically, we have taken a bold step in that if I look at my composition of my management team, that's where I will start actually. 60% of my direct reports, whom I would call my ExCo, is actually women, and they are doing a fantastic job. And you know, what I can say is that is actually our genesis of ensuring women are financially included across board. First of all, we start from our structures, how we are being onboarded our women in a AMCUL. Then we move to the next level. The next level is we've been trying to work with all our agents. Well, majority of the agents, if you have walked into the outlets, and I'm sure most of you can walk to most of the agent outlets, you'll discover that there are more women working in the agent outlets than men, actually. And if you have gone to Airtel Money branches, you know, in Uganda, we have over 2,500 Airtel Money branches, which employ between 2 or 3 people, plus the foot soldiers who distribute the float to the market. Again, if you look at the composition in that area, you find that the ratio is again almost 70-30. 70 in favor of our women, and that in favor of our men. So I look at that as an area that we have done very well. I've looked at actually our customer base. And this is where actually we need to continue to engage and encourage more women to use our platform. 28% of the customer base that we have today that are actively using mobile money are women. I believe it should be either 50-51%, and our effort going forward is to try and engage women. We know most of the women are putting savings money through the table banking. We want that money to come through us, and we are going to work with all associations that deal with women from this year to make sure that we digitize their payment, and through that digitization, then they come to the party. However, I have visited a number of our informal markets. Nakawa, any market you have visited, you go and look at who are the traders, 90%. Actually, one of the steps that we have taken, which we believe will bring more women into the digital payment, is our micro merchant. Again, because majority of the women, the traders that we have in the country, are women. To that end also, I want to actually say a big thank you to UNCDF, because we are working with them to get 500,000 women to be given an opportunity to become either our agents, our merchants, and also to become SIM selling outlets. The beauty of SIM selling outlet is also an opportunity for them to make money through our ecosystem. And you know why SIM selling outlet is very important for us? That is where the customer of Airtel Money starts. You start by buying a SIM card. Then when you register the SIM card, the next thing you get is a wallet. That wallet is what we are calling transacting. So we are not only going to look at women in our country as just users of the service. We want them actually to create businesses around them and also secure their normal savings. One thing that everybody picks when you talk about fintech is the cost. It's a major hindrance according to them, our minds. But you know, sometimes you ask yourself, this cost is in comparison to what? And I want you to look at it from that perspective. When I say in comparison to what is, if, for example, you live in one corner of this country and you have to pay electricity at night, what you do then when that electricity is off and you don't have either, you have to spend, you don't have, the place is closed, the places that you would have paid that electricity is closed. If you have to pay it, you have to take some public transport. So as much as we look at the cost per transaction, we need to look at the alternative, what it will mean. So for me, I take that out. However, Uganda, as a business, I think we have done well where we have been able to create our own ecosystems that are, everybody has their own ecosystem. I think the future of this country is around interoperability. We need actually to make now sure the systems that we have created, the way ecosystems that have been created, whether it's all the fintech together, now we need to integrate them together and make it seamless for customers to move money between ecosystems. For example, I'll give you an example. And I know we have not gone to the level that we want to go. If you look at where banks are today, when one bank deploys a POS terminal, any other bank that is in this country is able to acquire the transaction. They are able to make payment on that single terminal. I believe maybe for this year, a lot of effort will go towards getting more merchants, getting more places where you can pay with mobile money, and specifically for Airtel Money, that is our drive for this year, to get more places. But next year, maybe the discussion will be around how do we make this merchant interoperable so that any fintech in this country can pay on that merchant that you have acquired. And again, nobody can underrate the impact of bank integration. So when you talk about interoperability, it's started between banks and mobile money providers before, where you can push money to the bank. Sometimes we call it wallet to bank, or you can pull money from the bank. We call it bank to wallet. This was the first formal interoperability. We have gone ahead. If you look at what we have done recently, we can now do money from Airtel Money to MomoPay, and from MomoPay to Airtel Money. And if you look at where we feel we need to drive, recently also we lowered our price significantly. From some transactions, actually we reduced by almost 70-80%, purely because we believe for us to be able to scale this country, for us to be able to digitize the economy, for us to be able to drive and deepen financial inclusion, we need to ensure that we continue to open the platforms to each other and also interface each other. The problem that I've seen, and I think this is something that we need to talk as an industry, is the mushrooming cyber security issues. I think this, if it's not well articulated and well controlled, it could actually dilute or erode all the gains we have made as an industry. We are pro-fintech. And I'll first of all start by saying, in this industry, we have to complement and compete. And this is how we take this service at this industry today. We complement where we feel we are adding value to each other, and we compete where we feel we are offering almost similar product. However, one thing that we have been very clear is we need a level playing field. And the level playing field is two levels. One, as regulators need to create a level playing field. And two, the telecoms need to actually make the platform available to all fintechs. You know, sometimes you confuse us with telecom. We are no longer telecom, actually. We are fintech, and we are regulated under Bank of Uganda. And because the Bank of Uganda is regulating us, we also get the same services any other fintech is getting from the telecom companies. And for this reason, let me step back. Because one advantage that we have is actually we have our already developed ecosystem. We have invested huge capex actually to build our 2,500 branches across the country. We have also invested a lot of money to onboard the customers. And these customers are shared. There's nobody who has monopoly on the customers. So our approach to the fintechs, and this is what I want to ask all the fintechs, is we are very open. You can actually walk to my office anytime, and we discuss the business case. We discuss exactly what service you are offering, what segment that you are dealing with, and in many cases actually, to the contrary, we have actually been able to sit with a number of fintechs, listen to them, look at the product they are offering, look at our costs as a business. We believe that our margins are very thin today. And I'll take you why sometimes some changes are not understood by fintechs. So when we sit with you, we look at what industry you are you are actually integrating, or what industry are you dealing with? What is the margin? For example, if you look at, if somebody was to come today and walk to my office and tell me, Japhet, digitized petrol stations. Their margins is 3%. That's what the dealer gets. And from this 3%, this is the value that we need to share. Definitely, I will sit down with you and I will say maybe a 0.25% is good enough for us to sustain the business. And we have done it, actually. We look at it from what kind of business are you dealing with? What is the margin in that business? When I read about and I got the information about these 40 fintechs, for me, this is a very, very innovative and a very important step that you have taken to make sure that you bring the innovators to showcase their product and also to talk to the world. Sometimes people need to say their stories. And this is a story being said by 40 fintechs in a very short period of 40 days. It's quite impressive, actually. And for me, the most interesting thing in this is that every fintech has what we call a problem that they are trying to solve. Because if you look at anybody who will give you the story about the company started, whether it's a company that just started yesterday, started 40 years ago, they identified a need in the society. And that need is what they are trying to solve. Sometimes there is no platform for them to share why they exist. So the 40 days for me and 40 fintechs, we enable 40 fintechs in Uganda, I don't know, in the country to showcase what they are there for. And for me, I would love to continue to participate in this platform. If you want to get more information about Airtel Money, we advise you, our customers and our partners, to visit www.airtel.co.ug/Airtel-money.
40 Days 40 Fintechs is presented in proud partnership with Crossleg Technologies, Modus Box, Modular Foundation, and Level 1 Projects.